Hey, what is up, techies? Ricky from the Elementon back with another video, and this is my review of the Lenovo K8 Note. If you're following me closely, you would have known that my Lenovo K4 Note video has gained 4000 views. 4000 might not be a big number, but if you consider on an average, it is about 700% more than the average combined views of all my videos. So consider this to be the sequel of that video. So let's jump right into it. The entire package is in this compact green box. Right inside, we have the phone up in the front with its transparent plastic case. Below are some quick start guide along with the SIM ejector tool. Then we have the power brick and the USB cable. Nothing else. First things first, the build quality. The phone is all metal and front glass. Little bit thicker for 2017 though, but the metal sides give it a good grip to hold. Available in two colors, this stealthy looking Venom Black and a pleasant fine gold. As it is, I'll have the link for both the models down below in the description, so feel free to check them out. Over the front is a 5.5-inch 1080p display. It's actually surprising to see a 2K display in this price range. In addition, we have the 13 megapixel front-facing camera and the capacitive touch buttons. On the left is the place for two separate SIM slots and this mysterious button about which I'll talk in a minute. A home button and the volume rockers on the right. Over the bottom is the charging port Type B and the speaker grills. Over the top is the headphone jack. The backside is where it gets interesting. Dual cameras and the fingerprint sensor right where it should be if you don't have space on the front. Apple. And with all these specs, the complete package is 13,000 bucks. Let me now touch upon the software. This guy runs on Android 7.1.1 Nougat with stock Android. Lenovo did a good thing in not including a custom ROM for this phone, as that might have slowed down the phone a lot. Otherwise, everything is same as you would see on a normal budget stock Android phone. We have the VR functionality which you can enable in the settings, and long pressing the home button will let you to turn on and turn off the VR. Comes in handy for those who use VR a lot, but I don't think people here use VR that often. Do they? Another trick up in its sleeve is that mysterious button about which I was talking. This is called the music key. Similar button to that you would see on a Samsung phone, the Bixby button. But the software allows you to map it to any function you want that is available here. This, I must say, is a good feature. Let's now see how powerful the phone is. It's powered by a MediaTek processor, and this is where I think Lenovo could have done better. Even though basic stuff looks smooth with 4GB of RAM, complex functions make it slow, which sucks. I don't mind replacing the processor with a Snapdragon and slightly pumping up the price, as that would have made this phone the best in the budget lineup. Light graphics games runs very well, but only when you don't have anything running behind. Next up is the fingerprint sensor. Don't get me wrong here. Yes, the processor is slow, but that doesn't compromise anything on the fingerprint. I mean, it's quick on point. If you take a very close look, the unlock tone is played even before the phone display turns on to give you a perception of how fast the fingerprint is. That's okay, a delay of few fractions might not matter a lot. Now to the cameras. The rear shooter is a bundle of 13 megapixel and a 5 megapixel secondary. Images look sharp as it should be for a 13 megapixel. Colors are reproduced as such as you would see with your naked eye. When it comes to video, it doesn't shoot 4K, it's just 1080p. Another reason for why you should buy this phone is the secondary back camera for bokeh effect. A quick note here, dual cameras doesn't mean only to create bokeh effect. It's just one of their features. But people often get confused about this part, and that's why I'm planning on making an explanation video for dual cameras. Hit that bell icon near the subscribe button if you're really interested to know them. Now back to the cameras. The secondary shooter does a pretty good job of differentiating the subject from the background. It's not perfect though, it has the very same problem that resides in any dual camera smartphone out there, the edges. But Lenovo has this depth editor that lets you alter the focus after you take a picture. In that way you can play around with the settings to perfect out the depth of field. Apart from the bokeh effect, you have features like the black and white background and background removal. Dope. The front camera is also 13 megapixel that takes pretty good selfies. Though it doesn't blur out the background much, the quality is good even in low light. Overall, love the camera experience with the K8 Note. The last and the most important part of the phone, the battery life. With 4000 mAh, I need not say you know what could be the standby time. And you're right, you get around 1 day of heavy use. No issues with the power drop so far, even when the display is at full brightness for the entire day. Alright, some final points on the K8 Note. 1.4 GHz MediaTek processor, 3 or 4 GB of RAM, 32 or 64 GB of storage, 4000 mAh battery, 13 plus 5 megapixel real shooter and 13 megapixel front shooter. Except for the performance, particularly when using a lot of apps simultaneously and when taking pictures with depth mode, the phone performs well. Apart from that, this is the bang for your buck. So that's pretty much it. My review of the Lenovo K8 Note. Pretty good phone for the price, but the processor is a little bit slow, but you get additional qualities like the dual cameras which add a good perfection to the phone. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to know more about tech, and I'll see you soon.